Okay, now boys and girls, all of you should have received this angles in geometric figure worksheet. Okay, so we have completed page 161, 162, as well as 163, question 5. So I will have written down your correction pages here. Please make sure you complete them first before we move on to the other questions. All right. So some of the examples of corrections, or you forgot to label inside the figure. I told you before you to label them. And then your rules has to be beside the equation. And then you got to have your final answers like this as well with the unit degree sign. Okay. So maybe the relief teacher can pause here for maybe a 5 minutes for the kids to actually do their corrections before you continue with the video. All right. Okay, now for this question 6, right? First thing, let's go to the question. So we have PQR being an isosceles triangle. So PQR is this triangle and it's isosceles. So don't forget that if it's isosceles and you see the two lines, so just draw opposite it. You'll see that these two angles, they are the same. Okay. And then we also have PRST, which is a rhombus. Okay, so PRST, this is a rhombus. Rhombus means that there are four equal sides, okay? And also that angles between parallel lines add up to 180, so both ways, this way and this way, they are both 180. And then diagonally opposite angles, they are the same. So diagonally opposite this is 62. So we know for sure before starting other parts that we know opposite this is 62. Okay. And then we know that TPQ is a straight line. So use a highlighter to highlight this line TPQ because it's a straight line. So we can think about using angles on a straight line later. They want us to find angle QRP. So QRP is this one here. So to help you a little bit, let's highlight this particular angle. This one here, can see? Okay. Yeah, I want to find this angle QRP. Okay, that's one. So first of all, your first step, just now I mentioned, right, that in a rhombus, there are two rules. Diagonally opposite angles, they are the same. And also angles between parallel lines, it's 180. So my first step can be 180 minus 62 to get this angle here. So 180 minus 62 will give me my first step for this angle TPR. Okay, and the rule here will be angles between parallel line to find this one here. Okay, second step, just now I told you this pink line, this is a straight line. So angles on a straight line, I can find angle RPQ, this one here. So I can take 180 minus this angle that I found from step 1. I'll be able to find angle RPQ, this one. Okay, so this would be angles on a straight line. This one. So once you found this, remember I told you this is isosceles triangle and we have acknowledged that these two angles are the same. So once I found this, I can find this angle because they are the same. So your last step will be 180 minus 2 of this. These two are the same. You'll get the final answer for angle QRP. So for this step, this would be because it is an isosceles triangle. Okay, then don't forget to label your angle QRP, and then your answer. Don't forget that all the angles must be labeled inside your figure. Okay, so that's it for question 6. I will expect my boys, especially Max, Mario, Ethan Chua, please check that all your steps are written properly and the rules are written beside the equation. So Kai Xiang, please take note to write your equation, your rules beside the equation as well. Okay, not below it, it's beside the equation. If you don't have the space, you can write below here. Okay, don't squeeze them. and write neatly and clearly. Okay, for question 7. Question 7, EFGK is a parallelogram. So EFGK, this is a parallelogram. And then EJL is a triangle. So EJL is a triangle. And we know that FJ is parallel to JL. FJ is FG is parallel to JL. So when you see these, you will know that if they're parallel, so what comes to your mind immediately is angles between parallel lines later. Okay? And you want to find angle M in the end. So angle M is this one here. Okay, it's given here as angle M. Okay? All right, now, first thing, we know that this is a parallelogram, right? Here, can you see? This is a parallelogram. So come to your mind two rules here for parallelogram. Angles between parallel lines add up to 180. So 131 is here, right? So either here 180 or here it's also 180, two ways. So 131 and this is 180, 131 and this is also 180 because the parallel lines are here and this is also parallel as well. Okay, so your first step is to take 180 minus 131, you'll get this angle here. So 180 minus 131 will give you angle EFH. And the rule here is angles between parallel lines. I say again, 180 minus 131 will give me this angle here because angles between parallel lines. Okay, after you found this, now because this is a triangle, right? So we know for sure that this must be a straight line. Okay, EJ is a straight line. So I'll be able to use angles on a straight line rule to get angle HFJ. I can find this one here because this is a straight line. Okay, so I take 180 minus whatever you found here because this is referring to angle EFH. So I take 180 minus this angle EFH to get me JFH. Okay, so the rule here is angles on a straight line. The angles on a straight line will be for this one here. And your last step to find angle M is because this is parallel lines, right? So angles between parallel lines add up to 180. So I'll take 180 minus this angle JFH to give me angle M. That's it. Okay? I say again, 180 minus angle JFH to give me angle M because angles between parallel lines. So these two add up to 180. So 180 minus this will give me angle M. Okay, so this one is angles between parallel lines. Okay, then you'll get angle M. So my answer for angle M is, solve it yourself. Okay, so we need teacher to pause here and let them finish the question before we move. So remember to label the angles here. You must label all this here. I told you before, once you find the angles, it must be labeled inside here. Okay? Okay. Now for question 8, first thing, ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so ABC is isosceles. You will see these two lines here. So you will know that opposite it, these two would be your equal ones. Okay, so if this is 20, then this will also be 20. So if, in case you forgot how to determine which two are the equal angles, look at where the lines are pointing. So this one and this one is equal, right? So opposite is this one, opposite is this one. So these two will be equal. Okay, then we also have ACDE being a parallelogram. Okay, so parallelogram ACDE, this is a parallelogram. The parallelogram, two rules, angles between parallel lines, as well as diagonally opposite angles. So if this is 110, I will know this is 110 as well. Okay, and they want to find angle BCD. BCD is here. Sorry, this one. I had this one. BCD is this one here. And this triangle. Okay, so how to solve this? Very simple. This one, you only need two steps. So your first step is to take 180 minus 20 to find angle ACB. This one here. Okay, Angle ACB is 180 minus 20 minus 20. Then get your answer. This one is because it's an isosceles triangle. To get this one here. Then to find this angle BCD, because these three angles is all formed at a point here. These three, can you see? One full round. So we use angles at a point, add up to 360. So 360 minus the 110 minus this angle we found in the first step, you will get your angle BCD. So I say again, 360 minus 110 minus this angle that you found in the first step, you will find angle BCD already. That's it. That's your answer. So this one is angles at a point because they are formed at a point here. They go one round. Okay? So don't forget to label all your angles inside the 3 as well as the 20. Label all in. And then your final step, please give me your answer as well. Okay? So the ready teacher can actually pause the video at this point to let you finish up question 8 before we move on. Okay, for question 9, right, they didn't tell us any shapes or whatsoever. They only told us that there are straight lines, A, B, C, D, B, E, G, C, F, they're all straight lines. So maybe it's good for us to highlight the line first. So A, B, C, D is a straight line. And then we also have B, G straight line. And then we will also have C, F being a straight line as well. Okay, so there are two ways to start doing this. The first thing you can see that this is N, you can see an X here. So what comes to your mind is vertically opposite angle, so X-men. So if this 38, then this will also be 38 as well because of the X-men. Okay, so these two angles are the same. Your second step is, this is a straight line, right? ABCD is a straight line, so you can use the angles on a straight line. So if this 110, I can take 180 minus 110 to give me the answer. This is angles on a straight line. Okay, angles on a straight line, you'll be able to find this. Okay, now after that, look at this. Can you see that there's a triangle that's being formed inside here? This one. Can you see that EBC actually forms a triangle? So actually I can find angle A already. How? 180 minus 38 minus this angle I found from the first step, I'll find angle A. So 180 minus 38 minus the angle I found in the first step, I'll get angle A already. Okay? So because these three angles add up to 180 in a triangle. So this step would be angles in a triangle. You'll find angle A. Okay? Now, after you find angle A, very simply, I think most of you can see by now, to find angle B, because this is a straight line, so I can take 180 minus what I found for angle A, I can find angle B already. Okay? I say again, 180 minus angle A will give me angle B because this is a straight line. And then this angle, this whole thing add up to 180. Okay? So these will be angles on a straight line. Then you have your angle A as well as angle B for your answer. Okay, so there are two answers. Please remember to fill them out. Okay, with the degree. And don't forget to label all these angles as well as the angle B. Label all of them inside your diagram. All right. Okay, so you can pause here first before you finish up, and then we can move on to the next question. Okay, now for question 10, ABCD is a rhombus. Yeah. So ABCD is a rhombus. So let's take a look at this. So ABCD is a rhombus. So what we know is that rhombus, they have four equal sides. So let's put it in first. And diagonally opposite angles, the other thing. So we can fill this in at 64 first. We also know that when we cut a rhombus into two in the middle like this, we get two equal isosceles triangle. Okay, so remember that I say again, yeah? When you cut a rhombus into two, like what we see in the diagram, you get two equal isosceles triangle. Okay, what this means is that later on, when you find the angles for these four angles, they are the same. These 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 angles, they are all the same. All right, next. They tell us that AEFD is a parallelogram. So AEFD, this is a parallelogram. So there are 3 angles they want you to find here. So later on, you should have 3 answers. Angle DCE, angle CDF, and angle ECB. Okay, so maybe I highlight out for you to see which one you want. You want this angle, you want this angle here, and then you also want angle EC, the C, uh, wait, CDF as well. Okay, so 3 angles to find. So your answer should have 3 answers as well later on. Okay, so what we can do at the beginning here is to find these 4 angles. So I told you just now, right, this is the isosceles triangle. So in case you can't see, this on its own is an isosceles triangle, and they are the same. Okay, so remember I asked you, how do you know which 2 angles are same? The angles opposite the 2 equal sides, they will be the same. So this one, these 2 lines are the same, right? So opposite is this angle, then this line opposite is this angle. So these 2 are the equal one. Okay, so how do I find these 2 angles? Very simple. 180 minus 64, and then you divide by 2. So the rule for this, of course, will be isosceles triangle. Okay, 180 minus 64 divide by 2. You will end up with the answer for all these 4 angles because they are all the same. All right, now, next step. Actually, I can find these 2 angles already. How? Now, see, if this is a parallelogram, we know for sure that this line, this one, line AE, sorry, this line AE is a straight line because this is a parallelogram. So this line must be a straight one. Okay? So actually I can use angles on a straight line to find angle BCE already. Okay, or ECB. So angle ECB is actually 180 minus this angle here that we found in the first step. And similarly, actually DCE is also the same because it's a straight line. So 180 minus this will give me this one. And these 2 angles happen to be the same. So we know for sure that we use the same step to get these 2 angles. I say again, 180 minus this angle, angle BCA, will give me this one because angles on a straight line. Similarly, because this angle is the same, these 2, so I can also use 180 minus the same angle to give me this one here as well. And the rule here will be angles on a straight line. You'll get this one here. Okay. Last but not the least, how to find this angle. This one is slightly the harder one to find actually. Here. Now, because this is the parallelogram, right? Okay. So remember this angle plus this one will give me 180. I say again, BAE, this one, and ADF, this one, the whole thing, should give me 180 in total because of the rule, angles between parallel lines. Okay, so I'll take 180 minus what I found here. Remember what these 4 are the same, huh? So minus this angle that I found in the first step, will give me this angle, right? So this angle minus another 64, you will get the final answer here. So the rule here is angles between parallel line. Okay, then you will end up with all the 3 answers already. Okay, so you should have angle DCE, angle CDF, and angle ECB. You should have 3 answers, and make sure you label all the 3 angles as well as what we found here. All of these angles, I've drawn a bracket too, as well as this one here. All the numbers have to be filled in. And my rules have to be in as well. Okay, so I'm going to pause here to let you complete this particular question 10 before we move on. Okay, question 11. Now we have JKNO, JKNO. This is a parallelogram. Okay, and we have 2 things here, the 2 straight lines. So we have K and M is a straight line. And then we also have JLM being a straight line as well. And in case you can't see my parallelogram is here. So boys and girls, please highlight out to see. Okay. Now, next, there are two angles to find here. You want to find angle G and angle H separately. So in your final answer, I should see two answers, okay? Now, first of all, actually angle G is very easy to solve because this is a parallelogram. So what comes to your mind immediately? The answer is diagonally opposite angles. They are the same. So angle G is simply just 78. So you can just put in angle G as 78 degrees because this is diagonally opposite angles. Okay, so this is 78. Now, next, how do I proceed on to find H? Actually, it's also very easy as well. Can you see there's a 56 here and a 56 degree here? So can you see that there's two lines that crosses each other, line ON and line JM. So when they cross, they form the X-men. So vertically opposite angles, these two will be the same. Okay, so if this 56, the next thing I can do is, okay, it is 78. Apart from diagonally opposite angles, in parallelogram, I also have angles between parallel lines. So this 78, I can find this angle K and O here. Using 180 minus 78, I'll be able to find K and O using the rule angles between parallel lines. I can find this. Okay? Then after that, I'll be able to solve for angle L and M, this one here, using angles on a straight line. So 180 minus what you found here for K and O, which is this step. Okay, you will find this one here. I say again, 180 minus K and O, which comes from this one here, will give me L and M, this one here. Okay, using the rule angles on a straight line, because this is a straight line. So these two angles will give me 180. The very last step, now boys and girls, can you see this triangle L and M? I say again, can you see this triangle L and M? You have 56. You already found this at this step. You can find angle H now by taking 180 minus 56 minus this angle L and M that you found. You'll find angle H already. Okay, because of the idea of angles in a triangle. So in case you didn't catch me just now, 180 minus 56 minus this angle will give me angle H because this is a triangle. So these three angles in a triangle will give me 180. Okay, so in your final answer, I should also see angle H as well. Okay, angle G is already here. So angle H is here. And then I want to see all these angles labeled, yeah? So your 78, this one has to be labeled, this 56, and the final answer for angle H. Okay, so that's it for question 11. Pause here to finish this up before we move on to question 12. Okay? Okay, now next we're going to move on to question 12. So first thing we know is that ABCD is a parallelogram. So ABCD is a parallelogram. Let me draw it out for you to see because there are many lines here, so you can see this is parallelogram. So two rules in a parallelogram. Angles between parallel lines add up to 180. And then diagonally opposite angles, they are the same as well. Okay. So next, I know that there are three lines, straight lines here, AEF, CED, and DCF. They are all straight lines. So I'm going to use this. So we have AEF, this is a straight line. Then we have CED, is a straight line. And we also have DCF in a straight line as well. Okay, not sure if it's showing up on the screen. All right. So there are three angles to find here. They mentioned they want AED, angle AD, angle DF, as well as angle CFE. Okay, so we are just shading for you to see. So angle AED is this one here. Angle AED is here. Then we also have angle DEF here. Okay, side by side, yeah. And then of course, lastly, CFE is here. Okay, so let me help you out a little bit here. All right, so first off, we're going to start with using the rule angles between parallel lines. So if you can see, this is 140, right? Of course, diagonally opposite, this is also 140 as well. But then we realize that this might not be able to help us much at this stage. Okay, if you want to use diagonally opposite angles, also can. Okay, but I'm going to use another way to show you. So I'm going to use angles between parallel lines. So this 140 angles between parallel lines. Look at the green one, yeah. So 140 plus this will give me 180 because of what is in a parallelogram. Okay, so 180 minus 140 will give me this angle ADE using angles between parallel lines. So that will be your first step to find this angle here. Okay, next step. Can you see that ADE is a triangle? I say again, can you see that? And ADE is actually a triangle. So you have a 30. You have this angle that you found in your first step. I can find angle AED already by using angles and a triangle. So 180 minus 30 minus this I found in the first step. I'll be able to find angle AED using the rule angles in a triangle. I'll be able to find this one here. Okay, next. I can now find angle DEF. I think quite a number of you should be able to see how to find DEF now, because this is a straight line. So I can take 180 minus angle AED to give me this D angle DEF already. Okay, so this one, 180 minus angle this one from this step, using angles on a straight line. Okay, so 180 minus this will give me this because angles on a straight line. You find this one here. All right. Now, last but not the least, I have a very easy way to find CFE. Okay. Just give me a moment. I use another highlight to show you this one here. Give me a minute. Yeah. Okay, boys and girls. The last one, CFE, is very simple actually. Can you see this alternate angle here? Can you see the Z? Maybe I should use another thicker, I use a darker color. Give me a minute, yeah. Okay. Can you see this alternate angle? Can you see a letter Z? Okay. Remember I told you alternate angles? So this 30, right? Then here, this will be the same because I told you about this before, in case you've forgotten. It, when these two lines are parallel, you will know that this angle and this angle, they are the same. So actually, angle CFE is simply just 30 because of alternate angle, but you must write down later. So angle AED, you have found it in your answer. Then angle DEF. And then for angle CFE, remember I told you 30 degree, right? I want to write down here, this is, you have to write down this alternate angle. Okay, must write this down so you can prove it. Okay, now make sure all your angles are labeled inside. And then I want to make sure that your rules are also stated clearly as well. Okay, checkpoint here, because this is the last question for this part one. Now, next, Mario, please make sure your handwriting is eligible, is you can see, and then also, if you didn't write properly, use eraser to erase it off. I don't want you to use a pencil to scribble it. Okay, the rest of you, please check your work. All right, before you move on to the next part. Okay, so pause here to finish up this question. If you are not sure, please ask your teacher for help. If not, ask your buddy for help also. Okay,